Hello and welcome to another video of Provider series. In the previous video lectures, we have learned the basic and simple concepts of provider, that how can we use provider in our application to manage the state of the application. Uh, the concept which we have learned was very simple, but all of the concepts were very much important to manage a state of an application. In today's video, we will learn how can we use APIs, and by using the APIs, how can we log in, and we will design a login page, and then we will be using a third-party API website which provides APIs to practice or to test the code. So we will be using this website's API, which will be the third-party APIs. And if we are using APIs, which means that we need to use the HTTP methods like post and the get method. So we require a package which is called HTTP, which provides the HTTP method get, post, put, and etc. So let's begin with the designing phase. So I will be designing a page for our login. So there will be two text form fields and a button, which will be our login button. So let's begin with the designing phase. I will just create a new file with the name of login screen.dart, and I will just create a state full class here, and I will name it login screen. And when I need to design something, so we will use a scaffold widget, which provides by using a scaffold we can create beautiful designs accordingly with our requirements. So I will be replacing this placeholder with the scaffold widget, and here I will use the title of app bar, and I will remove the const keyword here, and I will be using the app bar and app bar title. So the title will be our login page text and the login page or login screen. So now I will save it. Now I need to show this page on my application. So I will just go to the main.dart file, and I will just come at the end, and I will provide the login screen to my home property, and I will just save it. Here we will see our login screen page on our application. So now let's just start the designing. So for that I will use the body. In the body I will be using a column widget, column children, and here I will just save it. In the column widget I'll be using I need two text form fields, so I will just use the form, and inside the form I will be using my text form field. So let's begin with the form. I will just define why I am using form. so we can validate our text form field. If the text form fields are empty when the user clicks on the login button, if the fields are empty, it should just show a message that uh, fields are empty. So that is the reason I am using the form here. So in the child, I will just uh, use a column again. So I need two text form fields. So that is the reason why I am using the column here. So children and children. So now I just need to use the text form field here. So let's just design it. So here I have just I will just save it and I will see a text form field. Now just to design this text form field, so the text form field needs decoration, and the decoration we need input decoration, and input decoration we can use the text int style. So I will just use the int style as our email, and I also want border from the whole side, so I will be using the border property oh, inside the decoration. So I will just put a comma here and save it, and I will use the border and outline border, and I will just save it, and will see text form field with border, but the text form field is touching the screen, so I need to push it inside horizontally. So I will just wrap the column widget with the padding, and I will be using symmetric, and I need horizontal padding, so I will just provide it horizontal padding. So now just make the text form field center, so I will just use the main axis alignment dot center, which is column property. So now I have designed uh, the email. Now I need to design one more text field for my password. So I will use the const keyword here to remove the warnings. So now I will just copy and paste this. Before copying and this, I just will create a global key. So I will just create a global key here, which will be final. The form key is equal to global key. We will use the global key for the validation. The form state, and I will just save it here. And now I have just created a field for email. Now I need to create one more field for my password. So I will just copy and paste this here, and I will be using this password, and I will use a sized box to give some spaces between them. So I will be using a sized box I20, and just save it. Let's see. Now I'll be using a const keyword here. This is there are two fields which requires to log in, email and password, and now I need a button. Uh, so let's just create it. uh, I will use a container, so I will just copy this size box here and just paste it here, just save it, and again now I will use a container to create a custom button for so decoration, box decoration here, color, colors dot the purple, which is our theme color. Sorry, I will give a height to my container 50 pixel, and the width of this container will be uh, double dot infinity, which will cover all the available spaces on the screen. So let's just save it. Here I see a container with deep purple color, so I will just give it some radius, circular dot all, and I will just provide a 10% radius. So here now I need a text to be shown on this button, which will be the login text. So in the child of our container, I will be using a text widget and wrap it with center widget to make our text center. So child text and login. Here I will do some stylings, which I will change the text color to white, colors dot white, and I will increase the font size to 20 and then save it. Let's see. Yeah, now it's looking quite beautiful. So now we have used the text form field. Now for the text form field to store the text and to use the text whatever user enter in this text form field, we require the text to be saved in a variable. So for this reason we will use the controller for both. So let's create two containers for our email and password. So here I will just create a final email controller is equal to text editing controller, and I will just copy and paste it and change the name to password controller. So now I will just provide both controllers to my text form field. So in the email I will use the controller and tell the text form field that your controller is email controller. And in the password text form field, I will provide the controller password controller. Yeah. Now I have created a global key to manage my uh, forms validation. So here I will just copy this form key and provide it to my form here. So now I have just provided the key to my form. Now I will just use the validator function of our text form field. So here I will be using a validator and the value. Now I will be just if now I will just perform some checks. If value is empty, value. If value is empty, show a error message um, here. Now return, please provide email, and here return now. And I will be just copying this and paste it into my password field. So here I will be pasting it here, and I will change the email to my password, and here you go. We are set with our validation. So now this button is not clickable for now. So if I want to make this button clickable, for that I will just wrap my container with a widget which is called gesture detector, and it will gives the functionality and the property of on tap. So I will just use the on tap, and I will just perform the validation check. If these are not empty, then go to and perform the actions. If these are empty, just show a error message. So here the key form key dot current is the current state of the form key is validate. Then now do some actions. So I will just save it and show you guys when these text form fields are empty. I will click this error message, and error message will be shown under our text fields. So this was the reason why I have wrapped the text form field into a form widget to just do some validations check on our text form field. So now we are done with the designing phase. Now I will be just creating the logics for the login success. How can we use our APIs to do login? So here in the provider section, in the provider directory, I will just create a Dart file with the login screen provider.dart, and I will just import the foundation library here, and I will just create a class login screen provider with change notifier, and I will just create it. And this screens needs to be provided into our provider list. So let's just provide it. I will just here copy and paste this, and I will just paste it and import the um, class. So here I have just provided my login screen provider. um, now let's just implement the logic. How can we perform and use the APIs for login? Here I will be just creating a function which will be login. In this function I will create all the logics and perform how can we use our API and send the text to the server, and the server will check and will show us a message that your login has been successful, or your login has been failed. So in the login section I will just pass the parameter email. whatever email we will get from here and whatever password we will get from here, and all the text from this text field will be passed into this login function. So here I will just pass both login and password, and I will just use the body part. So now we need to post both email and password to our server. So by when we need to post some data to the server, we need HTTP method. So for that reason, we need to install HTTP package into our uh, project. So for that, we will go to the pub.dev and search for our HTTP package, and I will just copy this HTTP and paste it into my pubspec.yaml file here. And when you save it, if here code exit code 0 will come, that it means that your package has been installed successfully. So let's just create a variable name, sorry, response. So here this response is coming from our HTTP package. Sorry, response is equal to await. So this will be a future function. So that is why we are using await function and our async post. So here we requires a URL. So we will just be using URI.parse, and I will just provide my third party API which we are getting from this website, which is reqres.in. I will be providing this link at the description box. So when I click on login successful, here comes the which provides the credential of the logging in. So we need to, when we are testing our login API, we are required to use these credentials which are provided by this website. So to use this URL, I will be just copying this and here paste this, and again uh, need to copy this and concatenate both. So now I am done with providing my URL. So now in the post section there is something which we need to send to the server in the body part of our post method. So let's just provide that body part, body, and we will use this. So now let's just see, we need to provide the key exactly with this email. If here some if there will be a spelling mistake of this key, then we will get some kind of error. So we will just copy this and we will paste this in the email section. I will provide this email, whatever value we will be getting from our text form field, I will just send it to this URI or URL. So now I will just use the password, and I will be sending this password. So I will just save it, and now I will just use have response dot status code is equal to 200, then perform some actions. See, here if the response status code is 200, it means that our login is successful. So if response status code is 200, show me a message, else do this. So here for showing a message in our application, I am using a toast message Flutter. So we need to install this package from pub.dev and just paste it to the pubspec.yaml file and just create a class and just create a function and use this in our login screen. So for that I will just be using print successful, and if it fails we will just print um, a message which will be shown in our debug console, failed. So now we are done with our API configuration. So we need to call this class when I click on this login button. So I will be just going to our this page screen again, and I will be just wrapping this gesture detector with the consumer class. So by using the consumer class I will be able to get the value of our provider class, which we need our login to be called when our login button is clicked. So I will just be using the consumer class, as we know already that we need to provide the class which class data we are going to get. So here I will be just login screen provider and I will provide that class. And now consumer needs a builder, so we will just create the builder and return this gesture detector from here. Uh, Gesture detector, and I will just return this and use a semicolon and remove this child from here. And now we are all set to get our data from this class from by using this consumer widget. So now I will be just login. Okay, I will just use this value. And now if the current key is validated, if it is validated, then do this. So here I will just use the value dot and I will call the function which we have created in our login screen provider. So what was that? That was our login. And now here what we need to pass in the email and in the password section. So uh, we have already created two controllers, for one for email and one for password. So I will just provide the email controller text here, which will be email controller dot text to a string, and as the same I will provide the password controller dot text dot to string here. And now I will just save it. Now let's just provide some email here. For example, I will just provide some random email to just see if my login will be successful or will be failed. gmail.com, and I will be just giving a random password here. So you see here, um, on the debug console we are seeing failed. So because we need to provide these credentials which are provided by this third-party website. So we are using um, the API of this website. So we need to provide the given emails and password. So here I will just provide eve dot holt at the rate reqres.n, and I will just provide the password ctslick. Sorry, here is some spelling mistake. sl Yeah, now I have just click on the login button and you see a successful message has been shown on our debug console. This was a simple concept. How can we use APIs to do login? So hope you have understood uh, the concept. How can we use APIs using provider in a very simple way? This will be the last video of our provider series, which and the next videos will be on MVVC architecture. How can we use MVVC with our provider, and we'll be doing uh, some operations with the APIs, and we'll play around with the APIs and the MVVC architecture. So I hope this video finds you useful. So please do not forget to subscribe my YouTube channel, and please do share my videos with your friends. Thank you.